All right, so we're going to go through the masking process here using the strategy from your assignment where we mediate two separate images with a third, and that third image is a mask. Right down here, you notice I have three images. On the top is a snowy scene from New York. In the middle is a unfinished building from Acapulco. And on the bottom is another scene from Acapulco, my honeymoon, of the bay on a rainy night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask the top image with the image of the building over the image from the bay. So the reason I chose these three pictures, I thought it was an interesting juxtaposition with the kind of warm Acapulco and the cold landscape of New York, and then this kind of unfinished building, tropical building, which is kind of both cold and kind of warm. All right, so let's get started. I've already added these in and resized them to the size of my canvas. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is select my middle image over here in the Layers panel. I'm going to hit Command A to select all and Command C to copy it. I can now hide that image. So I'm going to click on and reveal the top layer, the snowy scene. Make sure I've highlighted that layer over here. Now I'm going to click the mask button down on the bottom of the Layers panel and add a mask to the snowy scene. So I need to paste my image that I just copied of the building into the mask layer. I want to Option and click on that image to open the mask. Now I'm inside that mask image, so that's the only thing I'm going to affect right now. I'm going to hit Command V to paste. Notice it pastes as a black and white image like we talked about in class. Now I can take a look at this and see how it looks just by clicking outside that image. And we can see we have something going on here. You can see the black and white image of the building. You can see just a hint of the mountainous landscape there, and a little hint of the coastline in Acapulco there in the background. I think we can make this mask a little better though for our purposes. One thing we didn't talk about in class is editing a mask while it's in the mask area. So if I come back over and Option click on the mask, the first thing I'm going to do is invert it. Make sure it's all selected and hit Command I to invert it. I'm going to click out of the mask and see how that looks. It's not quite what we want, but maybe a little closer. Let's try some other stuff. So I'm going to click back into my mask, come up to the image menu, down to adjustments, and let's try brightness and contrast. So what I want to do is up the contrast to bring out the difference between the lights and the darks, and maybe a little bit of the brightness. Okay, now let's see where we're at. That's kind of nice. Let's invert that again and see what it looks like. Going to click back into the mask, make sure it's all selected. I can see the marching ants there and hit Command I. We'll come back out again. I'm not sure which one I like more at this point, but I think I want a little more contrast on that mask image. So back to the mask again. Let's go back up to the image layer there. Come into adjustments. Let's try something else this time. Feel free to play with these. Only some of them are available in the masking menu. But threshold's one that might work interestingly for us. Oh, look what happened there. So Threshold takes that image and really separates it into black and white sections. We can take this little slider here and kind of manipulate how much of it's black and how much of it's white. But a good spread in the middle there is probably what we want. Something like that. I'm going to hit OK. Let's click back out of that mask. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Over here in the areas of the dark part of the mask, we can see through to the Acapulco area. And then in the lighter areas there, we can see the mountain range. So we're getting a good juxtaposition. And we're also getting a little bit of detail on this building. I think what I like, one of the things I like about this image is that it allows you to kind of put this building together. It's not quite so obvious, but the structure is there. I'm going to invert it once more time just to see what it looks like. Command I. See if I like this one better. I think I like the other one better. Command Z and go back to that one. It looks like a complex piece of wallpaper. So my image is ready now, I think, with this one. And it's important to note that I spent time selecting these images and I practiced this before I did the screencast. So don't expect it always to go quite so quick. All right, remember, save your work. File, save as a Photoshop file. I'm going to call this one New York. Oops. New York, Mexico. Save it as a Photoshop file so we have all the information there. And then if I'm ready to post it, File, Save As. Check the drop-down menu here. JPEG, save, and then you get the options on the JPEG. I probably want to drop that down just a little bit. Maybe somewhere around 8. So the 369K is probably a good size. And hit OK, and it's going to save it back out to the same location. All right, thank you.